Hey, second graders, I'm back and I have a special friend with me. Say hi, Charlotte.
Hi.
And we're gonna finish up chapter 12 of Frindle. Tom, good to see you, said Bud. He stood up and walked around his desk and to shake hands. Have a seat. Tom sat down uneasy and Bud pulled another chair over. Ever seen Westfield so stirred up about anything in your life? You and Ginny must be pretty proud of that boy of yours. Bud couldn't remember Nick's name. Tom shifted in his chair and nodded. Yes, he's quite something, that's for sure. But I tell you, Bud, I'm ready for it all just to die down and blow away. Too much fuss. Instantly, Bud saw how to get what he wanted. Well, Tom, I'm afraid it's really going to go away. Shh, I have to keep forgetting to be quiet. Looks like something started up, and people are real interested. You probably saw those bright red ballpoints around town with the word Frindle on them. That was my doing. Just testing the waters, but your boy, he owns that word. I got my lawyer to apply for a trademark a few weeks back because that's just the way I am. New thing comes along, I like to be right there in the middle of it. He grinned at Tom Allen and Tom smiled back weakly. Right now, I got a shirt printer in Massachusetts and another one in Chicago and another in Los Angeles making t-shirts with the word Frindle above the picture of a pen. A Frindle. Each supplier has ordered so far for over 20,000 shirts. Profit on every one is going to be $2, maybe $3. And I'm talking with some big pen and pencil companies in Hong Kong and Japan about a deal that could be worth really big money. They've seen this Frindle thing in the media and they want to buy the rights to the trademark and make a new line of Frindles for kids. I'm not kidding. This is a hot idea. Bud guessed right. Just the thought of all of this made Tom shrink back uncomfortably in his chair. It was way too much fuss. Thanks for turning the page. Tom, let me be direct with you. As the boy's guardian, you need to do the right thing about all of this. I'd like to see where all of this is going. I'm going to take some risks, spend some money, and see what happens, but I need your permission. I need your signature on these trademark papers, and I need to strike a deal with you about the permission to use the trademark. I know it seems like a big ruckus about a word, but we can't tell what's to come of it unless we take some steps. Bud pointed at the papers on his desk. That's a contract, and it's fair and honest. It gives your boy 30% of whatever profits I make. That's a fair royalty, generous for this kind of deal. So what do you say? Makes sense? Let me take care of all the fuss and see if some good doesn't maybe come of all of it. The papers and the pen were there on the desk next to Tom. But he looked at Bud, then reached over, picked up the pen, and signed both copies of the trademark papers and 3 copies of the contract. I've got no reason to doubt you one bit, Bud, and I sure don't want to mess with any of this myself. Is that it? He asked, standing up. Not quite, Tom. Here. Then Bud Lawrence handed Nick's dad a check for $2,250. What's this for? That's what I owe Nick for the sales of the Frindles for the first 3 weeks, explained Bud with a smile. Tom looked at the check and said, this is terrific, Bud, but I'm really glad about it because it'll sure help Nick's college. But I wish you'd just keep it between us. If Nick knew, he'd probably stop mowing lawns, and I'd never get him to save another penny. So just between us, okay? Bud said, sure, Tom, I understand. Just between us. And they shook hands. Mr. Allen left Bud's office and walked across the street to the savings bank. He set up a trust account for Nick, and the bank manager said he could make arrangements with Mr. Lawrence so any other money would be deposited automatically. That sounded good to Tom Allen. If he had never heard about the word again, that would be fine. Wait, I'm not ready yet. And as Nick's dad walked slowly back to the hardware store, he wondered if things were ever going to be the same again in his quiet little town. Okay, now you can turn the page. Chapter 13 is called Ripples. Do you know what ripples are? Ripples are something that goes like this when you throw something into a lake or in some water. And I wonder what that could mean. What does ripples mean for the book? What do you think? I don't know. Let's see if they can figure it out. We'll see you guys back here later. Say goodbye.
Goodbye.